members includes you and I. So once again, I said good evening. My name is Nnamdi. I'm going to be taking you on use of Peachtree or Sage 50. Use of Peachtree or Sage 50. So I'll run through these few slides, then we move to the practical. We'll not waste more time. So with this session, we hope to explore samples of companies, set up a new company in Peachtree, post accounting entries, then run some reports using Peachtree tools. I would like to let you know that Peachtree comes in different categories. We have the Pro, Complete, Premium, and Quantum. The major difference between all is that the Pro, you just have one user right, while the Complete, Premium, and Quantum have different number of user rights. So many users can, for example, the Premium can take up to 5 users. Peachtree or Sage 50 will also customize according to industry. So if you need it narrowed down to industry, you also can use Peachtree. You have customized versions and you have the general version. So customized according to construction, distribution, manufacturing, and non-profit. So now I'd like us to navigate around. Let me switch over to this other computer. Then have this is what, when you launch, let me close all this so you see how it will look like when you launch Peachtree. This is how it looks like. But if you look at the, I don't know if you can see my base here. Let me see. This is the icon here. Oh, you can see it. The icon for Peachtree is the peach fruit, or Sage 50 is the peach fruit. When you launch it, it comes in this form. Then from this interface, you see file at the top left hand corner, file, options, services, help. Then in the middle here, you will see other things like open existing company, create new company, explore sample company, convert from another accounting program. So what it means technically is that you can actually convert, if you are using other accounting applications like QuickBooks, you can pick up reports from there and bring it to Peachtree. Page
John.
Okay. Okay, I think that should be audible now. So now, what you're seeing here is the front page once you launch Peachtree. So when you launch Peachtree, you get this interface. So on the left, at the top left hand corner, you find File. So from File, you have Options, Services, Help. So under the File submenu, you have Open Company, Open Previous Company, Open Company as, New Company, Restore, Online Backup, and Restore, then Exit. So this other, in the middle, you have the name of the company, the Peachtree file at the top. But people, you can hear me now. Now you have at the base, the first item there is Open Existing Company, Create a New Company, Explore Sample Company, and Come Back from another accounting program. Now, Peachtree comes with some sample companies. And those samples we can learn some lessons from. But aside from that, just note that if you are running a group of companies, you're the accountant of a group of companies, you can use Peachtree comfortably to manage the groups of the various companies together on one Peachtree installed in your laptop or your computer. So let us open up this. So you see, these are sample companies. Sorry, let me go back and do it. So for me to see more, I click on this browse option here. The browse option will open up more. So you have all these sample companies listed there. If you want to explore, you can pick any, but we'll get there later. Let us start by creating a company. Let's call it Page Nigeria Limited. Okay. So let's close it. So you go to this option, create a new company. Peachtree will give you a wizard, which is more like a guide. That guide will guide you step by step on how you can create your company. So let's start from here, saying create a new company. This wizard will walk you through creating a new company, you will be asked about your company name and address, business type, accounting method, cash or accrual, accounting periods, fiscal year. So let's go step by step. Now, we're using Quantum 2010 version, so it gives us other options. So we can pick other ones if we want. We can pick premium, Quantum. So let me go with Quantum because it's more robust. Now, so look at the first interface here. So we call it, we said the name of the company is Page Nigeria Limited. The address, let's call it 22 Lagos Street. Lagos Street. Now, this is city, Lagos. Now, on this interface, just note that the only thing that is mandatory here is the company name. That's why I say asterisk required. The only thing that is asterisk here is the company name. So you can actually move forward without completing the rest. But it's better we complete it so that everyone can be at the same page. So 234 70595 11111. Okay, that's a number. Then type business type. Let's call it a limited liability company. You can see other types. So corporation, partnership, so proprietorship, exempted organization. So you have other varieties that you can pick from. But we are picking limited liability company. Now here you can put your VAT number, PIN number, whatever you want. Okay, here, let's say website. Our website is now www.page.com. That's ideal. info@page.com. So next, at this interface, you are meant to select the kind of company, select a method to create a company. Do you want to create from a sample, use a sample business type that closely match your type? Now, basically what they're trying to say here is, do you already have an existing business that the chart of account is ready, that you can just copy from? Peachtree comes with, say 50 comes with its own sample company, so you can select from the samples. You can also copy settings from an existing Peachtree company. So, for example, if you're already having those who that run a group of companies, they do this a lot. You can copy from one sister, from the parent group, from the parent company, and then replicate in other companies, other smaller companies. So they will choose this one. The next one is convert a company from another accounting program. This could be QuickBooks or whatever application. So you can convert from it. Once you click this, pop up a window that will take you through a path that will take you to that the file of the existing company. Build your own. This one is for professionals, those that are very good at it. So they can build their own from scratch. You can consolidate existing Peachtree company. That's the last option. But usually people take this first one. They pick one of the sample companies Peachtree already has, and they move forward. Now, the next item is to select the chart of account. Now, you need to look at the nature of your business to pick the chart of account that suits your business. Accountants are already used to chart of account, so I don't need to explain that. So, for example, this is construction company, distribution, manufacturing, non-profit, retail. Now, if you go further, you have other details like accountancy, firm, advertising agency, architecture, craft firm, auction, and the rest. You have a lot of them. So let's assume that it's an accounting firm. So move forward. At this phase, which is asking us if we are making our postings on cash basis or accrual basis. Now, in Nigeria, we practice accrual basis for private businesses, the public sector business that go with cash basis. So we chose accrual basis. The next window is asking us if we want our postings to reflect immediately we finish posting. Now, using this option, the real-time method, immediately you click on post, all the general ledgers will be updated. While this batch system will wait for a while, then you click to batch. You post in batches, and then you click to post into the books. When you click on the post, that's when it will be absorbed into the book. But most people go with this smart posting, because maybe you finish posting, the books absorb it, and it's already all the relevant general ledgers, including the balance sheet, statement of net worth, and all the relevant trial balance, income statement, and other relevant ledgers are updated instantly. So that's why we are using that smart posting. Periodicity. We could remember periodicity in the elementary accounting. Peachtree also has room for that. So this is 12 months. But if you want to, if you don't want to go with the 12 calendar month, you can then pick the next option, which will allow you some measure of flexibility. But this is one we're picking, 12 months. Next window is asking us, when do you want to start posting your transactions? Do you want to start in January 2020, or you want to start from January 2016? So you can close it. You can also say you want to start from April, but let's pick January 2020 and move forward. You are ready to create a company. Once you click on this finish, Peachtree or Sage 50 will draw up the trial balance that you've already, the type of account that you've already selected prior to now, and everything will be consolidated into a company called Page Limited. So it takes just a few minutes. The company is ready for use. Other things we'd like to do at this stage is to get together our trial balance. If your company is not, if you've not been, if you've been in existence for a while, you need to come up with your chart of account so that you can bring in the opening balance. You can bring in the opening balance, and everything will be home and dry. Okay, so now when you launch Peachtree, it normally gives you this interface that's more like a tutorial, something that can guide you step by step, more like kindly look through this. And so at your free time you can take a look at it, but we are going to leave this. So I'm going to close and do not show the screen again, and then close it. But it's important to go through it if you are doing it for the first time. This is user guide, setup guide. Setup guide, which is something we've already explained a little. So it also require you to study this. So you have the customers, jobs, vendors, inventory, employees, chart of accounts, setup, security, and all whatnot. So close it, closing it because I'm already used to it. But if I'm not, then I will have to leave it for let it be popping up, then I'll be studying as I go along. So this is how the interface comes. So to make life easy for me, And for all of us, at this stage, let us go to an already existing company, sample company, put in place by Peachtree to make study easy. So I'm going to close this company, which is blank. Then I go to one of the existing companies. Let me go to Chase. Now, in Chase, they've already populated some information. What you're seeing here is the dashboard. This dashboard is more like what you would like to see whenever you open Peachtree in the morning. What would you like to see? Are you the management staff that is the financial controller that would like to see an overview of the business? Then this is the page you would like to see. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. There was a little interruption. So now, when you look at this interface, what you'll be seeing is the high-level picture of the organization. Accountants love to see this, and it makes life easy for all of us. Let me share my screen again. Good. So this is the high-level image that the company financial controller will be seeing. So he sees, for example, the account balances. You can scroll down here, see the major balances, and check some other revenue numbers here. And you can check customers who and the rest. You see vendor payable. When you go down here, you see age analysis, age receivable, age payable. So you can scroll down. Now, the next when you look down here, you see customer. Just look through customers and sales. So if you click there, you see more. Click there, vendors, you see their own interface, more like summary. Let me tell you summary form. And if you look at notice that there's also workflow process. If you are not the financial controller and you want to see, let's assume you are into sales, you manage customers. So what you should be seeing, what you like to be seeing, not the high level picture. You just want to be seeing customer related. This is what you do. So your interface, your default interface should be customer and sales. So what you need to do is click on this customer and sales, right click, and you make it your default. So that when you launch, okay, someone is saying that the audio is 4. So let me see. Do I have any Zoom here? Please, can you hear me?
Please, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear. Okay, Henry said you can hear me.
Okay, Henry said you can hear me.
Adebola,
I can. So
okay, somebody say it's better now. Okay, good. So what I'm trying to explain here is that what I'm trying to explain is that you can actually decide where what you want the default page, home page should be when you launch Peachtree in the morning. So the financial controller would like to see this high-level picture because he's at the top. So if he wants to make this his default page, he will right-click and select make default page. And this is when you right-click, make default page will pop up. Then you click on OK. So it becomes the default page. But if you are the one that handles vendors payables, you click on this icon here and right-click and make it your default page. Now this is the win. This shows you the flow workflow. So you can do a lot using this, but I will explain later. Let's see. Please, you need to confirm if it's still wobbling. Is it still wobbling? Someone said it's wobbling. Okay, good. So now we are taking this step by step so that we can carry everybody along. There are some people that have never used it before, and there are some that have used it later. So now this interface, I have explained initially, you can select where the default home page you want to see. So you can select the customer inventory. If you're an inventory manager, right click here and make this your default home page. Now let's go look up there. See, when you look at the top here, you see the menu: file, edit, list, maintain, task, analysis, option, reports and formats and forms, services, windows, help. Most times, there are some of these things that we might never use. So, but it's better to understand them. When you look at under file, you have so many sub-menus. Open previous company, open company. This is similar to what we saw initially. This is what you use for backup. It's important to do your backup periodically, say weekly, every Friday. If you don't have heavy transactions, make it every Friday, something like that, so that when your system crash, you can restore using this module. You can archive the company and the rest. Okay. Now, edit. Under you can find the transaction. Lists. Under the list, you can get customers list, look at it, vendors list, customer list, and so many sub reports that you can get under it. So let's pick customer, for example. This is customer. So you can pick the period. Saying that there's no transaction here. So let's pick something else. Let me see. Okay, lists. Let's go to vendor. Okay, vendor payments. There's really no information here. Okay, let's go out. But basically, this list, for example, this is where you should get your list of customers, list of like chart of account. Can you see this? This is chart of account. Chart of account was at whenever. Then now the other items I need to explain. Maintain, task. These are two two menu that you always be using: maintain and task. Maintain is more like for maintaining your primary information, primary data as regards customers, as regards vendors, as regards staff. So if you click on maintain, you see customer prospect. Here you maintain information, primary information as regards customers and prospects. Here you maintain other vendor, you have information, primary information as regards vendors, primary information as regards sales, and employees. Now, let me explain what primary information means. If you are going to a university, they will ask you for your surname, your first name, your other name. Those are basic information. Your parents' name, your house address. These are your basic information. And those are your primary data, which you will need for customers, you need for vendors, you need for employees. You want to capture employee information in Peachtree. So, for example, if you open up this, you'll see information like this: customer ID, name, account number, billing address, like that. See all this information, telephone number, email address, website. You capture all this information. Then when you start to invoice this customer or the vendor start to send you invoice, you move to task. So under task, you will be receiving invoices, and which is similar to what we have here. Because if you go back here, you see that this is customer, job, tax. So this flow is what we also have in here, but in another form. So from this point to this point, you'll see a narrow line there, deals with sales. So from quote to credit memo deals with sales. So when you have a quote, this way you pin your quote, sales order, convert to sales order, and proposal. Then sales invoices, shipment, receipts, finance charge, selling for deposits, credit memo. Now let me tell you, most times we don't use most of these things. What we use is sales invoice, receipts, most often. Then when we want to make reversals, we use the credit memo. So let's assume you make a sale and you want to reverse it. Use credit memo to reverse. Or you want to reduce, you want to give some kind of discount, you can also use it. Likewise, on the vendor side, if you get a vendor invoice, with same process, similar to what you have here, but now in the inverse scenario. So purchase order, purchase receipt inventory, select for payments, write checks, transmit electronic payments, vendor credit memo. Now, most times we don't use all these. We only make use of the purchases, payments, or select for payment. Now, when we want to make reversals, adjustment to the invoice value, we use credit memo. Now, so here I've explained that vendor, customer, you maintain primary data of customer under maintain. You maintain primary information as regards vendor under maintain. You maintain the primary information as regards employees under employee. Same thing, payroll, start of account too, budget, inventory. Here, well, inventory, when you have your list of inventory, this is where you key it in. Use this window to key it in and the rest. But let me explain one more information you need to know. Each of these items here comes with some kind of information. Like, you see, this customer ID, the customer ID that you're seeing there, it's more like a short name. Could be, if you look at the bank scenario, could be your BVN number or your bank account number. Okay? Some companies give all their customers unique number. Then this name is the full name of the customer. Likewise, on the vendor, go to the vendor side. You also have vendor code, and the full name. Now, this vendor code could be a short form of the name. For example, it could be Page, while the full name could be Page Nigeria PLC or Page Nigeria Limited. So just note this ID is just a short form, unique one. Unique to that, you cannot have two customers having the same ID. Analysis goes with the name, the word analysis. Another key information you need under this task is general ledger entry and account reconciliation. General ledger entries, you see, apart from receiving invoices from your vendors and sending invoices to your customers, there are other accounting entries that you must make, and they come with journal. So you use the journal entry to post that. Likewise, the bank reconciliation, account reconciliation, you use this reconciliation module here, window. So by so doing, you get your bank statement handy, then you key in the relevant parameters, and you will get your account reconciled through few ticks. Global analysis, these are cash flow, collection manager, payment. All these ones help you to manage your liquidity. This helps you to manage, options help us to manage the format of our reports, the template of our invoice, and the rest. So, for example, under global, we normally look for the general and we look for the drop down, such that as you are posting, Peachtree will be suggesting to you what you should do from the drop down list. This is one, but you can explore it further because there are many things here that can make life easy for you when you are doing your daily posting. Under report, all form of reports, you find them there. Something like the list you have here, likewise here. Now, as you post your transaction on daily basis, as you are posting, keying in the data, all the relevant general ledgers are already coming together. They are being harmonized to reports. So all the reports that you expect. So for example, if you look at under account receivable, you see a whole lot of reports. These are other key headlines of reports, and these are sub-reports that you see under them. So it's good you look at them closely. Like for example, this is customers list. The customers list will give you the full list, which is something similar to what I was trying to extract from the other window earlier. They don't have customers list. Same thing here, accounts payable. This is age payable. Check register. Vendors ledger. So for example, you say you have a situation where you have to reconcile your vendor's ledger with that of the vendor. Just come here, download this ledger, and you can share it with the vendor, or the vendor can send it to you, and you can reconcile that. See the missing items. Other things we could look at is financial statements. When you look at the financial statement, you have the balance sheet, cash flow, income statement, different varieties of income statement. Yeah, you have the 12 months. You have this one split into months, January, February. You have them in tabs. So let's take a look at it and see how it looks like. Let's leave this. Say show. You can check this if you want, or uncheck it. It makes life easy if you uncheck it, because you will not see so many zeros. But let's look at it this way. This is how the report will look like. But if you take off you come to this option here, you can take off the zeros and say, show. We don't want zeros to show. The ledgers with zeros, so it becomes more compressed. So this is how the report comes. You can download this report in Excel or PDF. So if you download in Excel, this is how it looks like. Just a few minutes, it's already coming out in Excel format. See, it comes in Excel, you can do a lot of calculation, another sub-reports out of the download. So it just takes a few minutes and you see the report is already ready. So what you're saying here, Peachtree Sage 50 makes life a lot easier for a lot of accountants. So I know that some people specialize in use of Excel, but with Peachtree, you can do a lot of things very much accurate, using several accurate tools that Peachtree already provides. For instance, bank consolidation statement is already ready. As you are posting, you have your general ledger ready. So just a few ticks. Your bank consolidation is so much tidy, and you move on to some other thing. So this is how the report will look like. So you can change this to January, February, March, and all whatnot. Likewise, the balance sheet. Like if you go to the general ledger, you see the trial balance there. General ledger trial balance. Your trial balance is already ready. So your auditors might need their trial balance. Just download this either in Excel or PDF and send to them for them to pick their samples. So close it. Now look closely at the top here. You see that you can save this. You can print. This option gives you more options. For example, you can add more columns. Let me show what I mean. See, when you are trying to navigate, you can use this column here to add more columns. Simply tick. Tick. For example, I want to see active or inactive account. I want to see current balances. I want to see debit adjustment. It depends on what you want to see. So once you check the ones you want and you say, okay, report to present them. Can you see? Keeps changing. You can compress it, or you can decide not to compress it. So a matter of few clicks. You can also email it. You can find information. So that's for reporting. Now, there's another thing I would like us to look at. See, it's not when you look closely at the top here, you can use this to refresh when you have many people posting at the same time. So for this report, the interface here to be accurate, you need to refresh. Then for system date and time, this one is the system for your laptop, your system time, date and time. This one is the period. Now what I mean by period here is like months. The month could be January, February, March, April. So use this to change it. So what I mean is this: you might be in the month. We are currently in August. While you are in August, the books of August will be open. So these are the periods: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. Now Peachtree remains open for 2 years. So what that means is, for example, this is 2010 to 2011. If you want to go into 2012, you will need to close 2010. To close 2010 so that 2011 and 2012 will be open. Then you can continue to post. It allows you to go back a bit and edit if you want. But once you close a period, you cannot open it again. You cannot post anything into it. Now, for you to close, so for example, if I want to start posting in August, I'll simply click August here and say, okay, would you like to print you pause before continuing, I usually say no, because if you click yes, most likely you'll be printing out a lot of things through your printer, and you end up using a lot of paper, stationery, which can be averted. So I said no. So, we don't need this if we are posting accurately. We don't need that. So now this is how you can see that the period have changed to August, and this is our default page. But if I want to change this default page, I will simply, let's say I'm a financial controller, I'll take this and I'll change back to as default. So this will become the default page. So I think we've explained this thus far. Let us do a little posting. Now, at this moment, as accountants, we should know that you should have collected the invoice from your vendor or your customer. You should also have collected, maybe issued invoices, sales invoice to your customer, and collected purchase invoice or vouchers from the vendor. Now, when you get those vouchers, you might have to raise a local, that's your voucher in the office. This could be done manually or automated, depends on your company policy. But before you do that, let's assume that this company now has a customer. A new customer came in, and his name is Mr. Jumbo Babatunde. Okay, so I can say, for instance, his short name is J Baba Baba J Baba Tunde. Enter Johnson. Okay, let's say Johnson Babatunde. Okay, now we've not issued the account to him. Billing address 24 Kekere Street, Lagos. Nigeria. The more you populate this data, the better for you, because you will not know when you will need this information. Telephone number 0 plus 234 8025013742. Okay. Email info at John Babatunde.org. Now, if you look down here, there are some other fields which Peachtree gave as more like a bonus. You can use this to customize any other parameter you would like to capture. You can also say customer type here. Customer type, you can categorize your customers into different categories, depending on your sales line. So, for example, you can say cooking utensils, house cooking utensils, furnishing. Depend on you can break your sales item into different segments. So use this to capture that. Then sales contacts, referee. All this can be customized. For example, you use this customized, you can even add more. So that's why for you to add more, you check this and then you add. You can say gender. Say okay. You can see gender comes with them. You can also come up and say, I don't want sales contact. You want another thing because you want to filter those unique items as regards your customer. So whatever is good for you to make your report more healthy, go ahead and use this as extra notes area. So next thing you say save. Now immediately you click on save. You notice that this customer ID changed to blue. You cannot just change this customer ID again. For you to change this customer ID, if you type anything here at this point, you are putting a new customer. You are not editing this customer ID. For you to edit this customer ID, let's assume you later discover that his name is not Baba Tunde, but it's J Baba. So what you need to do is use this change ID. Change ID. You don't need to delete everything. Just use this change ID. Say Baba. Okay. Then you edit this and you save it. If you do otherwise, you'll be adding a new person. Please don't worry, I will take a look at all the questions at the end of the session, please. I just want to flow. Let me flow very well. Same thing applies to vendors. When you want to have a new vendor, I told you all the elementary parameters as regards the vendor, you need to put them in. Let's call this vendor titles. No, let's say T Samuel. No. T Samuel. Enter. Titles Samuel. Contact person in the company. This could be the name of the company. So if you know the contact person, you write his name here. 25 James Babs Street, Lagos. So this also extra for you to put other things you want. Now this account type, vendor type. This vendor type could be cost of goods vendor or whatever. You can subcategorize your vendors in your office the way you want it. Now here you have accounts. Now this account is supposed to be collating. It should be the primary account for collating the expense or purchases made from this T Samuel. It's possible that you might be buying several things from T Samuel, but this account, expense account, should be the one for the primary goods or service you buy from T Samuel. So, for example, if you buy fuel more often, then it means that you need to go click on this and go down to the expense fuel. Let's see if we have fuel here. Sorry, somebody was trying to come in. Okay, let's call it auto expense. See, anytime you attempt to post an invoice from T Samuel, auto expense GL will pop up. But Peachtree allows you to also adjust it. So in case you like to purchase other things from Peachtree, from T Samuel. 234 8 0 3 3 4 4 5 5 8 8 7. Okay. Here could be his email is info@tsamuel.com. Website www.tsamuel.com. Please, just give me a moment, please. Sorry, somebody just came to the office. So enter your call, my internet strips. So this is how it will look like. So I hope you can hear me, please. Just say yes, please. So you save this, and then you move on. You move on. So now let's assume that you got an invoice from these people that we created now. You got an invoice. So you go to sales invoicing. I told you there are other steps, but we usually go through this one here. Okay, so let's say sales invoice, T. So this is the man collected invoice from me. Picked an invoice from me. Let's assume the invoice came in 1st of August. But you might be posting to the past. So you go back, June. But you see, because we picked this period as August. That's why when we launched this interface, it brought up August. But they're posting to the past, Peachtree will still allow you, but it give you some warning message which you can either accept and move on with or not. Let me see. Yes, so makes life easy if one can see everything the way it is. Good. So now this interface, what we do here, that invoice you collected from your vendor or that you issued, whichever you did, this invoice number should come in here. So for example, some companies will say if it's a vendor invoice, they normally code it with V or something like that nature, then they start to use some codes in line with what you have on the invoice the customer brought in. Then you describe. Now, when you want to describe, see, I ignore this first and second because I am not dealing with inventory related items. If I'm dealing with inventory related items, I'll look at these two. So I skip to that and say, this is a customer. Sales of books. Example, 200,000. Now, this is what I intend to post. Now, if you look at the page there, you see the tax. The tax, there's room for tax. So if the tax figure you put it there, you also automate that so that whenever you, it's like a standard, but that is for that time. Now, this way you put it tax, this for freight. Now you can try to put them here. You can say freight and logistics. You know, but this time around you keep adding and adding and adding. So it's one part of the invoice. Depends on what. But the key is that there's the way you put it. It becomes it comes like income to you. That's why it's better you leave it here. Otherwise, it will attract more VAT. Where if something is supposed to be excluded, like the VAT, for example, the tax is supposed to be put here, and you put it there, you might be giving the wrong impression that it's more like another income to you. So now, at this point, so there's a school of thought that make use of this window here to receive money. I will discourage you from using this. It means it's more like cash sales. Cash sales instantly give the money for the customer. But see, if you use this method, this is what you do. You key in the ticket number, whatever, reference number, more like receipt number, you know, and you receive an amount from him and you apply to the invoice instantly. This can be done for people that run supermarket. Customer comes, settle, pay that. But where there's a likelihood that the customer might not pay you instantly, do not use this method. In fact, I think it's best you don't even use it. Use the accrual method, which is what I'm recommending. So we are now selling. This man might pay us, Johnson might pay us now too, or in part. So I will then say save. But before I say save, I want us to take a look at note this journal. This journal will tell you the accounting entry. Those I would like to say what is the debit and what is the credit. This is what you're looking for. Journal. So when you look at the journal, it tells us that sales of book is going to expense to sales account 40,000, and you check it, it's correct. Sales. So you see sales of book. I can shift it from here to there because this is sales of book. Then the next item here is account receivable. Yes, this is account receivable item. So we leave it at that. We say okay. So those reviewing the postings, this is what you check for. Then you say save it. What it's telling us that the transaction will cause the customer's balance to go over. Yes, because when we were setting up the vendor or the customer, when we set up the customer, there are some defaults in terms of credit defaults that the system allowed us to use, but we can also change if we want. So this is it. So I say okay, because I really don't really matter for me now, but you can change it later. So now we have made one sale, and so that sale will be reflected in the income statement. But the next item we would like to do is to receive money from the man. We want to receive money. So receive money, receipt. Do you want to receive cash in hand or pay to bank? Let's take bank. Regular, pay, let's do the options. Regular checking account. This is the current account. Remember, this current account could be any of your current accounts, but you can change it. So let's say this man. Can you see? This is the invoice that we've already charged against J Baba. And now J Baba maybe paid some money instantly, and we gave him can give him a discount using this module, or you take it off too. Let's assume he paid 100,000. So this is 100,000. But if he paid in full, just check this and continue. Other items you need to take note of is the reference. Maybe paid with Zenith Bank, check number 001378. And you give him receipt number, whatever receipt number. But let's assume it's the same. And let's assume he paid on the second day. But it's not sort of third. Notice that the amount, the 100,000 went up. So put it again. And save. This one calculates the balance in the account. So we are saying regular checking account is more like GT Bank or whatever current account you have. So then you save. When you save, the system absorbs it, goes to the age receivable, goes to the other ledgers, accounts receivable, bank, submitted everything. So you do the same with the other item called purchase. This Samuel, let's say third, purchase from him, vendor, call it invoice number 00345. Let me expand it so you can see. I'm also ignoring these two because we are not dealing with inventory related item now. So let's call it purchased let's run. Now you see that default account. So let's see what the auto expense. So headline. Let's say purchasing of 50,000. The other school of course can come here and just credit and apply the 50,000 cash payment here. But I will not allow you. I will not recommend that you do that. So what I recommend is you do the accrual method. Note this one, these are accounts payable. So if you go to journal, you see detail. Auto expense debited. And accounts payable credited. Then once you're okay with that, click on the OK key and save. Now, next item is to pay. Rather than pay. So for you to pay again, you go to task, payment. Similar window pops up. Similar window pops up, and you select where you are paying from. Regular checking account. This window will open up. You are paying with your GT check number, UTI check number 9933. When are you paying? You're paying on the 6th. Are you paying everything? But you need to call up the man's later though. So this pops up because you already posted it earlier. Let's assume you also paid 50%, which is 25,000. So now let's save it. Take a look at this. Take a moment and look at that. Account, regular checking account. Use this to look at the balance, cash balance, and save. Now let us go back and bring out the vendor and customers invoice. So let's go to the report, account receivable, customers ledger, you can expand the period so you see which more beautiful. And you can check customer ID, customer name, customer type. So this is how it looks like. To show you a balance of 100,000. It will show you that the initial invoice was 200,000, payment of 100,000 applied. So the outstanding balance is 100. You can also add more parameters. You want to add more quality, use this. So you can see you want to know if you have paid the invoice fully, click on that. Because this invoice will run into maybe up to 20 or 30. You want to see the ones that have been paid for. You will see asterisks beside those ones here. When you choose this paid option, check it. Now let's go to vendor. Same thing here. This is the initial invoice of the vendor, payment, balance, 25,000 naira. So if you come down here, income statement, let's look at the income statement, 12 months. Let me see, this is 200,000 here. This 200,000. This 200,000 is just okay. And you can scroll down if you want to see the cost of sales as regards this 200,000. Check it there. Now, when inventory is involved, it's slightly different, but it's not too complex. You can do it. Okay. So let me go back and show you that. It means that you need to maintain inventory. And when you are doing anything on Peachtree, right-click any of the cells, it will suggest what, if you don't understand what you need to do, Peachtree will suggest something to you. So this is an example. I'm not online. Okay. Okay, it's not even stuff. It's supposed to give us an idea of what this field is for. This is for, let's assume you want to buy, the selling inventory, let's say grocery. Okay, let's say toothpaste. Toothpaste. Let's say tea-paste toothpaste. And I'll say Ango toothpaste. Ango toothpaste. Okay. Now, this, you copy this, bring it down here. Remember that you are just starting. So this is unit price, unit cost. Peachtree will be calculating all this for you. So that as if you put in those parameters, you can calculating the cost of sales, putting them in the relevant field. Then you will then pick all this one. This is the general ledger sales account. So where do you want Angel to place to record this sales? Go to sales. Let's assume that it is sales. Inventory ledger. Inventory. Cost of sales. Put in the cost of sales. So you go to select cost of sales. Cost of sales. Let's say product. Then let's say you need price level 1, because you can discriminate the prices here using different options. That's up to 10 here. So you can sell at different rates to different customers depending on what you are getting. So, but let's assume that it is just normal thing. Let's say 200,000. Let's take it down. Costs, unit costs, let's assume that is 12,000. And these are other parameters you would like to, like minimum stock level, the other quantity. Like that, you can also this preferred vendor, buyer ID, and things like that. So let's just move forward now. Valid item class must be selected before. One thing is that you need to pick stock. Now, let me explain this. Non-stock items will not display all these items here. So, like if you pick one non-stock item, we'll look at it later. Let's pick stock items first. So, sorry, sales. Inventory. Cost of sale. Unit costs, 12,000. So let me see. We have inserted, so let's try to sell. We're picking one single one. When we sell to him on the 10th of August. Our invoice number, sales invoice number 45 to 21. So if you click this, let's say an item will be here. See, top here. And because we made the unit sales price 29. Now we publishing 29. Now if you change this to 5, see, change to 5, multiply it in unit. Then you can save this. You want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Now, we can as well collect money. Yes, yes, yes. So you see 2 outstanding invoices. This is the first one. This is the second. Now, because you do not want the discount, you want him to pay off this one. Probably he wants to pay both. You can check these 2 boxes. You want to settle this bill. But before that, it's important we give this parameter. Reference. Then by that number. Let's assume that the receipt number is same. Let's assume also that the paid on 12. So we need to 12. Now, let us go back and see how invoice will look like. The customer breakdown. Let me see. Payment, invoice. This will always be correct if you separate it from cash. So now we have discussed about posting. We've seen how to. We've seen how to extract our reports. Now, 2 more areas I need to talk about. Then we move on. I can see that the bank considers this. So this is journal. Let's assume that you receive your bank statement and you have a lot of debits regarding bank charge. So what you need to do is BC bank charge. You can call it Zen bank charge 40, whatever serial number you give it. Okay? So this will be debit bank charge. Some people normally sum it up, but do it separately. Whatever you take, you just go ahead. The bank charge here. Being bank charge for the month. Okay. So you're debiting bank charge with 1,000 and you're crediting what? The checking account. 1,000. This is that I did not type the second one. Auto copy. So this is it. Save. Do the same for all the bank charges. Do the same for accruals, the payment. You allocate them according to their amount, and then you are done. You can also do a recurring. If the same thing happens every time, the recurring journal, like the payment, accrual, which the paid expense journal or what you call it. So this journal that has used same way, but it must balance debit. All debit must equal to credit, but it not accept those. Next item I would like to explain is bank reconciliation here. Now look at this window. So it is unlike the Excel approach of reconciliation that we normally do. So at this point here, you need to select the bank account you want to reconcile, the dates of the bank statement or the statement you're trying to reconcile. Here, interest income, if any, service charge, if any, relevant account numbers, then here, ending bank statement balance. Here, this is the figure you pick from the bank statement. Then, you'll be matching the bank statement figures with all this by ticking up like this. And you observe that this one here must be equals to 0. Equals to 0, or you know that it's fully reconciled. So that's how to manage the bank constitution. When you print out the results, you figure out, okay, print out the results, and then you file it off along with the bank statement, ledger, GL. So that's for bank constitution. At the end of August, you will need to move to the next month, which is September. Either you come down here, you use this one to move, September, okay. Then no, don't want to print. As well. I don't want to do it. If I sense that there's an error on the GL posting, I'll leave that. So now this is how it looks like. Then we're already in the month of September. The posting now is September posting. Moving forward. Now, when you get to the end of 12 months, and you need to open up, when you get to the end of 24 months, Peachtree requires that you open up another month while closing the month. Because Peachtree can only allow 2 months, 2 years, 2 years to be open at a time. So you need to close off the earlier year so you make room for the next. So what I mean is this: if you come down to tax, go to systems, change the accounting period. It will show you this, which is similar to what I've shown you earlier. Okay? This is 24 months. So this is from 2010, 2011, 2011. Now, if you want to open up 2012, it means that we need to close 2010. And for you to close 2010, the process is that you come to the tax, go down to system, click on year-end result, and you follow the prompt. Follow the steps, do the backup, until you get to the end. It is very easy. So let me see, but it's if I do this way, year-end result, then no, you request a backup. Okay. Well, that's the part. So you use the year-end result to move to the next year. So move to the next year. You close off the earlier one. So remember, most of items you see here can be extracted. All the statements that you list can be extracted. Let's see customer list. Let me see how this will look like. Now we have only one customer. So these are the customer details. Can download, send to. Is it Excel, email, PDF? I take advantage of any of them you want. And so let me stop here for now and entertain questions. Now the process is that you read
It's true. That is true.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if you have any question
at this stage,
you can ask. I think you can hear me now.
Hello? Someone is asking if Sage has multiple currency feature. Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge, please. Next question, please. Someone was raising his hand. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Solomon, unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hello, good day, sir.
Solomon, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. My question is, my name is Arinze.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Many people are more interested in the video than asking questions. Okay. Now, for reversals, what we recommend you do for reversals is you come here and you apply this. let me adjust this man. Let me adjust this man's ledger. Let's see. Let's assume add. Sorry. This has only paid on the 40. And you want to give him kind of discount. You come to credit memo. Sorry. Yeah, now, so you see, this is the invoice now. Returned, say 2. Can you see? Because we've already issued an invoice before. So when you return 2, it will calculate it and apply it. So you can call this credit memo dash 546321, so that we can tie it to the sales invoice number. Let me see if we can take it back. So something like this, then you save it. And you say, okay. Advanced payment. Yeah, you can actually make payments in advance, like you pay your landlord, you call it prepayment. Pay your landlord, simple, you open a ledger, an asset account called prepaid account. Let's use an example now. Let's assume that this man also. Let's assume that the same person is your landlord. Title Samuel is the landlord. Okay. He gave you a demand note. They prepaid rent. You go to assets. Point assets. I'm actually looking for prepaid. Okay, yes, this prepaid expense. Okay. So under the prepaid expense, you can have different categories. You can categorize them. So let's assume that you paid 120,000 rent for 2000 January to December 2020 or 2012, because we are still in 2011 here. So if you do this, it will be capturing it there. Then you say rent 2012, save it. This is the demand note. Then you go to payments. This is the invoice. Zenbank check number.
Okay, this is one up.
When you save it. Now, if you go to the balance sheet, financial statement, under prepaid expense, this is it. Get there. Now, there's another school of thought. It's when you're doing the ideal thing is what we talked about. So when you talk about receiving money, okay, let me go this other way. Let me go this way. You know, when you're handling something like petty cash, you don't really have, you might not really have vendor sending bill and getting paid and something like that in an organized way as a normal vendor would do. So what you do is more like a cash payment. So what you do is use this payment window. You might not follow all those protocols as in having the invoice books and the rest. Instead, you can pick the name. Say Baba Jide Okon. Painting of car. See, just call it 6,000 series. So, auto expense 4,000. Something of this nature. Then you put the cash voucher number. Can you see? So you just save. You save. Once you save this, it goes. You see, you note that I did not put the vendor ID, whatever. I started from this point. That is a shortcut and it should be only used for things like petty cash. Now, someone is asking for invoice when you receive money in advance for receive money in advance. Still, when you understand the matching concept, the principle behind matching concept, then you need to know how to apply it. The invoice that let's assume you collected the money for the year 2012. That's collected money in advance from January to December 2012 from a customer. So what you need to do is you need to invoice into the future. That's one option. Invoice one by one into the future as on month by month basis, so that so that we can comply with matching concepts. Match your revenue and your expense. So now expense are what about revenue? So people, you pick the invoice, one invoice. Then you call it monthly recurring invoice. Okay. Then you see, let's say 20,000 naira. Then you come here, look at this. Okay. How many times do you want it to happen? I want it to happen 12 times. See? 12 times. You do it into the future. Or 13 times, depending on what you want to achieve. So it's going to be books, recording the books on the dates you pick. So if you say you want it to be recorded from 1st January, saying that it must be in an open fiscal year. So more like we need to close 2010 before we can do this. But don't worry, because we are using this as an example. We can say we can change this to January 2012 so that it makes some sense. Save it that way. So if you just apply, then if let's assume you are doing this in January, meaning what that means is this year period should be January here. Should be at this point. So the period is January here. Let me see this. Okay. Now you have invoice into the future, and the man decides to pay you everything in January. Okay. Simple. You come to receive money. Because that money went to your bank. Zen Bank. I'll just copy this and paste there for ease. Then you put, let's say, how much would that be now? Let's say 240,000. Put the entire 240,000 there. So when you do this, sorry. Times 12. Sorry, 20. That's what you do. You can multiply, or you can just make sure that everything is tidy. So see, you apply it that way and you save it. Now subsequent month, you've already you are in January, you are doing this in January. So when you save this, it goes in the month of February. You open this February and you move your cursor to February. See that there's a negative here. That negative will continue to carry forward. Let's say where are the invoices? Oh, sorry. We need to move this to 2011. Yes. I need to see where I posted this. Don't worry. I want to open up the customer's ledger to see the dates posted. Okay. Now, this was January. Okay. So if we expand this, excellent. So now what I'm trying to say is these other invoices, like this is 28. On the month of 28, in this month, we should be having a negative. All we need to do is apply it on this invoice. It's like a back end entry. So this is 28. Let me go to my sheet. Correct. So now what we need to do is we're not applying to bank. What is supposed to pop up here? There's something missing here. The invoice is supposed to pop up such that we need to cancel it. Each of these invoices in respective months ought to come up. While we will also see the payment. Okay, in January. Okay, so let me close this period and go to February. I'm supposed to see an invoice here. Let's see. That's one. Yeah, the journal entry is correct. Is the application to invoice now? But looking at the journal, the customer's ledger, it flows well. But then that is not how. Because when you go to the age, let me go to the age receivable, the month of February. Let me see how it will look like. Yeah, it's a credit here. So as you keep moving, age receivable will be capturing it until it goes. Let me see what it will look like it is now. Move to December. Let's assume we have moved this period to December. Okay. So HLookup. Perfect. So in the month of December, it will be close to 0. We repeat the summary. This is how it will look like. So it's only 20,000 that is left in December, and when you go to January, 3,000 will go up. So I don't know. I think that's about all the questions. It is dangerous to be using journals. Journals, please, when you're using Peachtree, use journals when there's no other options. Use journals only when, for example, a customer comes to buy something, you journalize it. The day they ask you to spool the customer's ledger, it will not be as easy as I'm doing it right now. You might be able to code it properly when they are in a way that you can filter it, or it will be more stressful if you use only journal. Use journals for what you don't have any modules for. For example, if you want to do prepayment, want to apply prepayment, use journal. If you want to apply bank charges, use journal. If you want to apply accruals, use journal. So that's what I recommend. So let me know if you still have questions. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. I need to prepare for another. Yes, we are going to do QuickBooks as well. I am now, I'm no longer alone, so I need to take care, go along with what my team approves of. So the training and development team, but we have members on board who are willing to take us on QuickBooks. We have members on board who are willing to take us on other applications as well. So I'm trying to see questions. And we want to, with regards to, we'll try to see if we can send the video out, but that'll be tomorrow or next. Or we can do it today, why not? We'll try it. But see, try not to be dependent on the video. If you attend and you ask questions, also when you see our videos, please, at the base of the video, there's room for comments. You can write comments regarding topics you want us to treat subsequently. So we pick out those topics and get into them. We want to do it on demand. If we talk about QuickBooks now, our team, I'm sure they are taking notes. Find time for that as well. So in the absence of any other questions, comments, I think we are good to go. Call it a day. Feel free to send us a mail at pageplatform@gmail.com. pageplatform@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to attend to you. Also, these trainings that we've done, we can also do it a second time when we have other facilitators who are willing to take it from another angle. Of course, we'll take it. Now, for those of us that are trying to go through 36 months training, what kind of feedback you well, we are going to share that in different fora. So thank you so much for your time, and remain blessed. Please ensure you assist one other ICAN member until they are all Firebrand accountants. Thank you. God bless you. This was brought to you by Page Personal Accountants email platform. platform for chartered accountants of ICAN brand. Thank you, members.